House number 7 on Zarechnaya Street was the last inhabited building in a dead neighborhood. The other structures stood with boarded-up windows like blind eyes. Maria and her young daughter, Anya, had moved into this fourth-floor apartment, fleeing an unbearable mortgage. The apartment was practically a gift. The realtor, a nervous man in a rumpled suit, hurriedly handed over the keys, throwing out a final remark. "Don't go out after 9. And don't look out the windows. The curtains must be drawn." Maria chalked it up to the agency's quirks. The first night, they slept like logs, exhausted from a move. The second night, too. But on the third night, Maria was awakened by a soft creak. It came from the hallway. Creak, pause. Creak, pause. The sound of a floorboard under someone's foot. Maria's heart hammered. She grabbed a heavy book from the nightstand and crept to the bedroom door, opening a crack. In the living room, in the moonlight streaming through the window, stood Anya. The girl was swaying on the spot, staring into the dark screen of the turned-off TV. "Sweetie, why aren't you asleep?" Maria exhaled. Anya slowly turned her head. Her face was indifferent, mask-like. "I'm watching cartoon," she whispered. "What cartoon?" "The TV is off. It turned on for me. There's a girl there. She lived here. She says she likes me. She wants me to stay and play with her. Forever." An icy shiver ran down Maria's spine. She grabbed her daughter, locked themselves in the bedroom, and sat there until morning, unable to close her eyes. The next day, she tried to find out something from the neighbors. But there were no neighbors. The entire building was just dust and silence. At the management company, they looked at her as if she were crazy and said, "No one lives in that area, and no one should." That evening, Maria drew all the curtains as instructed. But Anya was acting strange. She threw a tantrum, demanding to open the window. "She's out there, on the street. She's waving at me." The girl sobbed, pointing at the curtain. Maria snapped. She yanked the curtain aside, ready to scream into the night for this joke to stop. The street was empty, and yet it wasn't. In front of the entrance, on the children's swings, a small figure in a white dress was swaying. Its face was hidden in shadow, but Maria felt its gaze. The swings creaked. That same creak she had heard at night. She slammed the curtain shut, gasping with horror. Turning around, she saw Anya. The girl was standing in the middle of the room, looking at her. But it wasn't a child's gaze. It was an old gaze, full of a non-childish melancholy and loneliness. "Mommy," said an unfamiliar voice from her daughter's lips. "Why are you leaving us? We so want to play." Maria let out a wild scream and rushed to the door, grabbing her daughter's hand. They burst onto the stairwell. The elevator, of course, was broken. They had to run down the stairs. Behind them, from the very top, came cheerful children's laughter and the patter of small bare feet. Not of one child, but of many. They ran out into the street. Maria, without stopping, ran to her car. She pushed Anya into the passenger seat, started the engine, and hit the gas. She raced through the dark streets without looking back until the city lights surrounded them. Only then did she look at her daughter. Anya was asleep, sprawled in the seat, her face once again that of a child. Maria exhaled, feeling the adrenaline subside. They drove to an all-night cafe. Ordering hot tea, Maria took out her phone with trembling hands to find a hostel. Her finger froze over the screen, reflected in the dark glass. Against the backdrop of her sleeping daughter, she saw her own reflection. And behind her back, another one. The pale face of a girl in a white dress, pressed against her shoulder, laughing silently. She turned around. No one. But in the pocket of her coat, she felt a small, cold object. She pulled it out. It was an old-fashioned plastic doll covered in dust. Its glass eyes were intently fixed on Maria. A quiet, hissing whisper, which couldn't be real, came from the phone speaker. "Home. It's time to go home."